Welcome back to my channel, guys. This time for another Yen Press manga review. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I thought it was a light novel for some reason, but no, this is Yen Press Volume 2 of Banished from a Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. They sent me Volume 1, they recently sent me Volume 3, and I wanted to do all three, but I got myself this one so I can actually go in order. Um, Before anything, guys, if you haven't heard of Yen Press has been sending me stuff to review for you guys. So thank you so much for them to be sending me stuff for me to review. They sell both light novels and mangas, and they do an amazing job here in the U.S. So if you haven't checked them out, go check them out. There is a link in the description below where you guys can buy cheap anime, manga, light novels, and yes, Yen Press is almost always in a special in that website. So if you're looking to buy some of these, check them out there. This is pretty decent story to be honest. I read this probably in two sittings, which you know it talks volumes about the story itself. Because sometimes it takes me a while to finish a manga, so if it's not a good story. Okay, let's talk about the story itself. Um, you can divide it into three separate sections, at least this volume, and we'll talk about all three individually. First, you have the party where Red, our main protagonist here, him in the back, he left and he thinks that he is not a good adventurer. He's not worthy. He thought that he was basically dragging the team, so he decided to leave the team. Well, their his team that he left is suffering, and they're suffering because they don't have someone like Red who can think beyond the mission itself to prepare them and to also have basically tactics for anything. They are all confused, for the exception of one, of why Red left. Now, we find out that essentially, one, Red misunderstood certain comments that were told to him by the other members, um, and he just basically thought that he was useless. And two, there is someone in the team who was kind of feeding negative ideas to Red to get him out of the team. He was just jealous of him. So they're looking for him. They want him back. That's basically the first chapter. The second, third, fourth, and I think fifth chapter in the volume itself are all about Red and Rit. And Red and Rit, which are the two people here in this cover, first they're trying to get some medicine approved. That way they can start selling more stuff in the apothecary place that they have built. Um, and second of all, they're basically trying to get a good flow of customers. Now, Red and Red are essentially living together now, and he has promised her basically to um, provide as much as possible of a good living for her. So obviously, she's over heels for him still, and it shows. A few members show up. Actually, yeah, one who knows Rit and basically is trying to overpower Red, and Red still doesn't know how strong he is because Rich does, and Rich is afraid that Red, because not knowing his power, might hurt her comrade or ex comrade. So she kind of kills the whole situation down. But we start seeing that Red is not as weak as he seemed in the first volume. The next encounter is someone who's basically trying to trade Rit for money, or for not money, for gems and jewels. And Red is like, "Oh yeah, I have a few of those already." And he's like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Yeah, I don't need stuff like that. Stuff like that doesn't attract me." And he explains how he is really a friend of Rit, and he's not there just to hand her over just for jewelry or whatever that is being offered to him. So it kind of shows the relationship is stronger than what it is. And then hits the third part, and you can almost see it here on the book. This gray area that you see here is all the third part that I'm talking about, and that's essentially the past. We see how Red and Rit did an agreement together and essentially got together. Her being a princess, but also being as strong as a hero, they got together to essentially go and destroy what needs to be destroyed. And through that, Rit saw how strong Red was. Um, we also see how the other characters were not really bullying Red, but just being horrible at communicating. So, yeah, the third part really kind of adds more to the story, and it shows more of how Red and Red met each other and grow to be close to each other before they even opened this apothecary place. And two, it shows how Red is actually not the person we thought in the first volume. So I'm excited to see what happens in the third volume. I have a feeling some of his friends are going to come back and try to get him into the team already, but we'll see. For now, I'm going to rate this one a 6.5 out of 10. It's a great otherworld story. I think it does a great job at the whole mellow um, side story to it. I just recently did my first impressions on an anime that is releasing right now through High Dive, and the name of it is trying to get the right name, Farming Life in Another World. And gosh, that one it's very similar to this kind of deal. Like he just wants to have a worry less life, but gosh, it's so slow. And this one isn't. This one actually has curves and twists and build on the story. And I don't know. I did not like Farming Life in Another World. You guys can check that first impression video, which I recorded today but released days ago because I'm preparing for a few weeks of videos releasing. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. And I'll see you guys next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.